So today I have the Jaxx Ultimate True Wireless Speaker. Now you can find this at Five Below for the price tag you see right here for $7. Does have some interesting specs for those that are looking for battery life and, just a lot. The usual Five Below product. But we're going to go ahead and just test to see, how good the battery life is, talk some tech specs, talk about how to sync it, and lastly, and most importantly, how does the music sound in real time. So with that being said, let's get right into this video. So welcome back to the channel. Like always, right here we're going to talk about tech specs, and I'm going to show you how the speaker looks. If you see my video format, you already know. Also, needless to say, look at the timestamps if you want to skip to the part that you want to see. So first things first, this does use the micro USB as usual, like we always talk about in a lot of Five Below products. Here are the instructions for you guys that happen to have purchased this and maybe you threw it away by mistake or someone gave it to you and you weren't sure how to actually use it. I'm going to let you just keep that here so you can go ahead and screenshot that. Also, this is the back. We don't need to worry about that one. This is the speaker itself. So you do have a physical power button. You have the DC 5 volt that comes inside of the box that you see here. Now, it doesn't come with a brick. So if you have a PC, if you have a wall outlet, or if you have a brick that you can put on here, which most of us do, that is how you're going to charge it. This is the speaker itself. You can see the little speaker right here through the fabric, which isn't something that you normally would see, but this is a Five Below product. So, like I always say, temper your expectations. Wrong word. You're getting a total of 2 hours of battery life, about 33 feet or so for the Bluetooth distance. Now that does determine, now it changes if you're upstairs or downstairs in the basement. So it's not vertical or horizontal necessarily. It's more so if you're on the same level playing field, you get about 32 feet. Depends on how good the Bluetooth is, and this is Five Below. Bluetooth 5.1, 2 hours of battery life, or more consistently, 1.5 to 2 hours of battery life. And it does take about 1.5 hours to 2 hours to fully charge, depending on how much juice is inside of this itself. Now, if you look at the design, honestly, it doesn't feel bad at all. Like, it always has that cheap felt tee type material. But what I will say about that is, aesthetically, it does seem pleasing. Like if you were to sit it down right here, it actually reminded me of the Google HomePod, I believe it's called, or the Google Nest, that's what it's called. So that's one of the reasons why I bought it today, to actually review it for you guys. So solid product so far, but what matters is how the music sounds and whatnot. So let's hop on to the next section, which is going to be basically how to sync this product. Alrighty, so to sync it, I already have the phone right here for this guy right here. Let me get out of wallpaper services. Here we are. This is right here. All we're going to do is turn this on, hit the button. You hear the noises. It's going to make these little noises, and it's going to put itself automatically in sync mode. So if you watch the back, the way it's blinking, that means it's in sync mode right now. So as soon as we go to the settings, which I normally do in every device, Bluetooth, let's go here. It's going to pop up BT Ultimate Bluetooth. We're going to tap that, and like I always say in these videos, with Android devices, it may ask you to actually sync it once you click it, and you're good to go. And it does come out of the box 80%, at least this one does. So what I will say is expect probably between 40 to 80% or so of charge inside of this. So be aware of that. This is how it looks. There's no physical touch buttons or anything like that, and it's a very simplistic and easy sync process. So right now, let's go ahead and talk about music. So for the music, just like all my disclaimers that I normally give you guys, everything that I play is from File Manager. And the reason for that is a very simplistic reason. It's because a lot of phones, Apple devices, Samsung devices, OnePluses, depending on which music device you use, they have their own equalizer, which, to be honest, does make a huge difference for these devices. But I want you, the consumer, to hear it in its natural state before you do any alteration, so you know if it's worth purchasing or not. So right here, we're going to do Fire and Ice. It's YouTube-friendly music, just so you know. Okay. Stand it up. Sounds pretty good, believe it or not. Okay. I like it. Okay. Let's do this one. It sounds really clear. Turn it up. Wait for the beat drop, then I'll turn it up. Okay, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. All right, guys. So here's my music take on this. Now, I know I only played it for a couple of seconds for you, but I did listen to many different songs, and I'm about to talk about that right now. So what I noticed is that if you have the volume between, I would say about 50 to 70%, you'll get pretty decent sound out of the speaker. The bass was a lot deeper than what I expected, especially when it was laying down. I decided to stand it up because that's how it's going to be inside your home. And like I said, aesthetically, this is exactly how the Google Homes are with the dots. I think Google Home has like 4 dots though, but this is how it actually looks when you're sitting at home. In addition to that, it looks like this actually has 4 dots. If you look at that 4th one, I could be wrong about that. And this is probably your battery life to let you know how charged it is. That's my guess. But the quality of sound, it has a little bit of bass to it. I'll give it that. It had a little bit of bass. When it came to certain instruments that played, it sounded very clear on my end. I can't tell you how it sounds in the video, and I only know after I play it back. But it sounds pretty good in person. Bass Jaxx, like I always say, is normally hit and miss a lot of times, and sometimes they just have a terrible product. Other times they have really good quality products, which is surprising. It should cost more than, what is this, $8? Let me double check. Yep, $7. But it sounds good. It sounds clear. When we got up to about 100%, 80%, 90%, where it went into the orange or the red, I noticed that when I played the music in person, I noticed distortion. Like when other instruments played at one time, like for instance, I played, I forgot the name of that song. I forgot the name of the song. But anyway, the point is that I played a couple rock songs, and I did things that had many instruments that have highs, lows, mids. When you hear it in headphones, it sounds really rich. And sometimes it's hard for these speakers to actually get the quality of sound that the artist wanted you to hear. Instead, you hear something else, and it will sound a little bit more lackluster, if you know what I mean. This doesn't sound that bad. It did distort. It did sound a little iffy when it got higher. Of course, if you're playing this at 100%, 9 times out of 10, you're in a very busy environment with a lot of people. Whoops, almost knocked it over. What I would suggest is this is a personal speaker for whatever room that you're in. So if you're laying in bed, your nightstand is next to you, you're using your phone, you want to listen to something out loud, this is what that's for. If you're listening to YouTube videos, that's what this is for. If you have a kid laying in their bed, this is what that's for. If you're using this to listen to full-blown 2-3 hour podcast, it's going to be an issue for you because this doesn't have that long of a battery life. Now, if you have it plugged in and you're using it, that's a different story. I know a lot of people have these are stationary Bluetooths. They don't necessarily carry them everywhere that they go. So again, I'm not talking to you guys. I'm referring to the ones that try to keep this unplugged. The ones that use it for an hour, don't charge it when they're done. This is something you're going to need to charge every time you use it to get the maximum efficiency out of it. So there's that. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and just go to the next section, which is it actually worth purchasing? So to be blunt, I think this is actually a pretty good speaker, believe it or not. Normally, it's okay. If you look at the dots right here, the 4 indicators mean the battery life like we talked about earlier. So normally I would say I was much harsher in my earlier YouTube critiques about 2 years ago almost when I first started this journey, where I would call something trash in a heartbeat, which normally I would call this trash. But because it's a different type of clientele, I have to understand, I had to learn to understand who was buying what product, and I can't compare everything to the newest thing in the world. Like I use AirPods to record voice and sound and certain things when I do these videos. I already know they're not going to sound, or if I use a 5 Below headset, it's not going to sound the same. I'm not going to have the same quality. But I also understand the only comparison is just to show how good or how bad a product is to something that's, well known and well thought after. So I do like it. For $7, I think this is a very good speaker. It works well. It looks good. The quality isn't bad. Like if you squeeze the speaker, it's solid. It's a solid speaker. Sometimes you come across ones where you sit on it by mistake, it's cracked. You squeeze it, you can feel the speaker being pushed in and distorted. They actually took the time to do something decent with this. Granted, I wish the max volume would have sounded a lot better than what it did. Again, I don't play things on max volume. Even with my subwoofers and everything hooked to my computer, it's never on max volume ever when I do anything. So there's that. It's a good gift for people. I gotta stop saying It's a good gift for people, in my opinion. If you get this, what I normally suggest is to buy something like this, buy some headphones, buy different things at 5 Below to bundle it together. So even though you're trying to save money, for $20, $30, you can basically get 3 or 4 items, at least 4 items that are like 7 times 4 years. So like about 3 or 4 items total, depending on the price, where someone can have the total package. They can have a mouse, they can have a keyboard, they can have this, they can have a sound bar, they can have that, and just kind of mismatch it. And I think that the person that you buy this for will really appreciate this. Now, if there's someone that had LG headphones, Beats pills, and Anchor products and stuff like that, this is going to be a major no for them. Just going to be honest with you. If you've broken someone's product and it was name brand and you get them this, it's going to be disrespectful to that person that has a more high-end product. But if it's someone, you know, that just was like, listen, I just need a speaker just to hold me over when I listen to something for a couple hours when I'm laying in bed, listen to some tunes, some lo-fi hits, things like that, this is good enough. And I do suggest it in that aspect. But anyway, like and subscribe like always, and I will see you guys in another video.